Oh wow, I'm live. It's cool. Yeah, I think this is the first video I've done live on here before, which is cool. Um, I'm gonna start doing more live videos on here just because I'm trying to grow a channel, see what happens. Um, try to keep things low key, that's for sure. I'm a low key guy. If you don't know that about me, I'm not rah rah. You know. Um, you know, those that know me know, yeah, I'm a Christian. Yeah, I'm in a job that is very, I don't know. It's a job that is very, can be tough because you're dealing with people that are, can be sometimes hostile because you check lots of vehicles and check permits and stuff like that. And biggest thing I think for me that I've struggled with as of late is trying to forgive people for what they've done. You know, when somebody's crossed that line, what are we doing here? I mean, I'm sitting here like, this is ridiculous. I've never seen an individual just took control and just like, wow. And violates you on so many different levels when you see that kind of stuff. How do you react to that? It's a series I think I want to dive into. You know, like godly forgiveness. You know, and I think there is a place of grace that you can have that will sustain you through those times. And that's something that I don't really know much about. Reconciliation and grace and all that stuff. That, you know, for me, it's easy to just fly off a handle and be like, go back home. You know, Somali. You're from Somalia, right? And you might say, well, it's racist. You know, but it's really, I mean, yeah, okay, fine, good. Well, what is that? You know, if you're gonna say that, or you're gonna say prejudicial things. You know, at the end of the day, um, biggest thing for what it's worth is yeah. So anyway, that's gonna be something I'm going to dive into with this series. You know, I think that's important. I don't really know where to start with that. Like, I'm just kind of opening a can of worms, and I don't know where it's going to take me. You know, but that's the beauty and the joy of the journey of God with God. And you know, it's so easy to get to a point where we we look at somebody like that, and it's so easy to make excuses for what they are all about, or to start judging people for what they do. I'm like, you know, it is what it is. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to love. How do you love somebody that's taken you to a level where you didn't want to go? Don't. You know, it's like that movie, Anger Management. The guy says to Adam Sandler's character, "Told you not to go there. I told you not to go there." You know, um, right? And that's it. And that's the truth. I think a lot of people, but you know, it gives me hope. to really dive into that and say, well, what does God really say about all this? you know, you know, how do you forgive somebody like that who has brought you to such a far level, so far out there? So how could you forgive them for what they've done? I really don't know. I really don't know, but I believe in God that He will provide an answer, or in a way where there seems to be no way, to where, hey, we can love. How do you love somebody? How do you forgive them for what they've done? And take the nasty junk out of them, out of, and separate out that, and I believe this, that everybody has that spark of greatness on the inside of them. And there's a lot of people out there that choose to be evil, do bad things for whatever reason or another, for their own gain. Okay, fair is fair. Here I am, and I'm talking about. I've been on a sobering journey of my own, and I've never shared my story before, never publicly. But I felt the nudge of the Holy Spirit, because I believe. I think sometimes there's always going to be people out there that are in that same boat. Especially when it comes to somebody that's of a different race, that is always 9 times out of 10. Anytime, any confrontation you've had has always been somebody that's been of that nationality, Middle Eastern, and it's like they'll take that 0 to 100 in about 5 seconds. Now, it's the older people that they're more civil. These young guys, young punks nowadays, aren't. They just take things into their own hands. They just kind of run roughshod over it. They ain't gonna give you the time of day. Woo woo, get out the way, kind of deal. And I'm just like, wow. But you know what? That's not my place. Choose to love, forgive, but at the same time, at the end of the day, how do you get past that? And I think like anything, tough skin, and you say, you know what? Who knows what's going on in this individual's life? I have no idea what's going on in his life. Couldn't tell you everything that's going on there. He might have been like laid off last week, for all I know, rough family. But then again, now we're giving excuses and reasons for them to act the way they do. And I'm like, you know what? It reminds me of all those times when I worked in schools, man, when I had people that were just hard to deal with. And I had to work with Gene over here, or little boy Billy over here, who acted out every once in a while. I was just like... But my favorite time of that was when they had to go do the trainings, and and I was the acting out person. I could kind of do whatever I wanted to do, try and strangle somebody while I'm at it, for not for real, but like just playing, like role playing basically is what it was, and sometimes I think about it, like those techniques that I've used. But see, those are, man, it's kind of dangerous to do that nowadays, because you're doing it in a different setting. Any one of those guys could have whipped out a gun. That's you. That's it. And that's a liability. So I mean, best thing to do is not to try and be the hero. I mean, it's not about trying to be the hero, and people are gonna do what they're gonna do. Let them do it. And that's the unfortunate thing. You can only do some. You know, sometimes I think back to the situation there. And I'm like, what could we have done better on that? I would have said, I should have been looking at that and like, but everything happened so fast because those guys ran out. I would have said, get in your truck now, lock the doors, and raise that up. They wouldn't have been able to get out. We would have called, and they would have never been able to get away from there. It's $100, because I mean, but it's like whoever, you know, like Max said years ago, whoever controls your soul controls your destiny. Soul control, you know. And in this case, this guy had the control and did what he did. You know. So there we go. You know. So yeah, those are things that you life lessons that are not easy. You take with you regardless of where you go. Um, so yeah. I'm just gonna leave it at that, you know.